Rage times 1. What the hell does that mean? Oh, you missed, you ding-dong? You can't be missing right now, dude. Look, if you were to actually hit both of these attacks, you might kill this thing and this boy could survive. So don't miss. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to NEO Survival. I'm your host, the bird, known as Falcon. We're outside of this base over here, which is back in Bryansk, because you guys let me know how to get that poison. Remember that quest that I got about bed bugs? We're supposed to buy fine poison. I had no idea about it. You guys told me, Falcon, look inside of houses and you will find them, and guess what I did? I found all of them, so we're back to deliver that today. Before we start, I have a question for most of you that are more informed than I am. I recently unlocked a new level of mechanics, which has opened up the VAS 2101. Is it worth it to make this from the Zaz that we normally got right now? Or should I wait for the Gas 24? Skip a few, go over here. I'm curious about your opinion about that one, because right now we got the Zaz, so let me know if what's worth it, what's not, and I'll go based on that. Right now, let's deliver our quest to, or at least the items to this quest here, which I guess we just have to come in, and it'll work, maybe? Let's see. Refugees from Bryansk, yeah. Go to the settlement leader? Oh, that's it, okay. Come in, did you find any poison? Yeah, of course, here you are. You gave me caps for that. Okay. And we got survival experience, too. That was it? Oh. And here I thought it would be something like very story-oriented. Now I gotta drive back? Alright, let me skip forward and just drive back then. Alrighty, so after a very long journey from back there, which by the way, I regret, I realized I was at roughly 113, I guess, liters of gasoline when I was roughly around here. Because off camera after the last video, I went back through everything that I skipped earlier, looted everything for fuel, tape, etc, etc. So I was like to like 113 around Gomel, and I traveled there to deliver the poison just now, and came back just now as well, and I'm down at 86, from 113 over here. The people who live in Gorenichi hunt, grow vegetables and weed, and also regularly send search parties into the ruins of Kiev. Most of the residential buildings didn't survive the war, so the refugees have made their homes in the school, kindergarten, community center, and even the clinic. Look around and talk to the locals. By my estimates, around 50 people live in Gorenichi. The inhabitants all refuse to talk to me for one reason or another. And here is Gavrilov. Here he is. Make yourself at home, as they say. But first, allow me to introduce my friend. He's also keen to talk with you. Timofey Zaitsev, a former director of the Institute of Virology. Like me, he wanted to leave for Poland, but he didn't make it out in time. I heard the name and felt a spark of excitement. The director of the Institute of Virology. Looks like I'll get my answers to all my questions now. Why so quiet? What did you want to talk to me about? I want to know about the scientists that were executed, about the epidemic that broke out simultaneously across the entire country, and about August 17, 1984, Are we about to get some answers finally? The investigator and the director shared a silent look. Why do you want to know? Will knowing change anything? It was so long ago after all. Even so, I want to know the truth. The truth? And just what will you do with this truth, drifter with no name? I tell it to everyone. That's my business. Alright. And what are you willing to do to learn this truth? Will you risk your life, for example? I've already been through a lot to get here. I've already risked my life. It's a deal. You'll learn the whole truth, but first you have to fulfill your promise. My promise? What are you talking about? Back in Kiev, you said you would help us deal with the wolves. So do it. Then we'll tell you everything. And what do you want from me? Nothing wondrous. Just take part in the hunt. You probably don't know what happened here, correct? No, I don't know. This beast, the black wolves, appeared in our lands around 3 years back. A she-wolf and 2 cubs, huge, black as night and blind. The first 2 years were peaceful, but then all this wild game was gone from the woods. Maybe the wolves got rabies from somewhere, or there was something else, but either way, they started hunting people. We protected ourselves as best we could, but they just grew in number while we lost more and more people. Last week they got into a house at night and mauled an entire family. We sent a whole squad to attack the beast, but not a single person returned. But we still have hope. All the wolves we killed have been males. That means that if we kill the she-wolf, no new cubs will be born. We can't delay any longer. The she-wolf is hiding in an old slaughterhouse. We're going to attack her there. This is our only chance to exterminate them once and for all. I see, but why don't you just burn the she-wolf along with the slaughterhouse, or smoke her out? We've already tried, it's a no-go. So will you do it? If you help, you'll be saving many lives, and then we'll tell you everything. If you won't, you'll have to find someone else. Alright, I'm in, this needs to be done. Those black wolves are too dangerous. Excellent. Judging by your gear, you're an experienced fighter, so we'd better our chances with you on our side. When you're ready to hunt, get ammunition, food and bandages and move to the starting point. I'll be waiting there. Alright boys, so this might be the fight that you guys have been warning me about. So if that's the case, let's get ourselves prepared here. The best thing I have is leather armor. We'll wear that, obviously. Wear and tear's only a 1. That is good. I have plenty of gunpowder grenades. I could probably even make a couple more if I needs to. You know what? Why risk it? Why not make more if I can? I can make at least 7 more. Do it. Gunpowder, I have it. I actually have rags on me for once too. And we got extra cans too. Boom. Boom. Alright. In terms of weaponry, I got this from a box in one of those military camps, you know those green boxes? So I got the Mosin Nagant rifle. Does 60 to 90. Amazing range, definitely. And it also penetrates armor as well. Otherwise, I think we might as well just repair you. That traveling back and forth killed you. There you go. Oh, good now? And people told me to use the snowballs for this fight as well. I only have 6 of them. I wish before the event for Christmas ended, I wish I would have known how good the snowballs were. I would have just basically hoarded up on them, but you know, it is what it is. I think we're good to go. Let's just make myself a little bit of a meal to kind of get myself topped off over here. Spaghetti's always a pretty good one for me. Where are we at? There you are. That is good. Almost completely healed up as well. Alright. Let's handle a save. And get it poppin'. Get it poppin' like poppin' fresh. Alright. I think this should be good. I'm not sure what weapon I should use right now other than just flinging grenades to save my life. Anything here? Nope. Alright. Well, we're at 99 HP. I should probably just wait till I'm 100. I wonder, do you know if, like, regenerative items stack in combat? So, for instance, like medicine, I know there's a medicine here that lets you recover HP over time. Does that also work in combat? I think it's you, isn't it? Yeah, accelerated regeneration. So this will heal me 25. But as you're moving along, it lets you heal. I wonder if that also applies in combat. If you guys know, let me know. Otherwise, I don't want to use it just yet, but a verification would be nice. Alright, let's do it. If the survivor dies, yeah. Flashlight, knife, and rifle. Let's do it. The men going on the wolf hunt set up a temporary camp next to the burned-out warehouse of the highway. Thick smoke rose from the rusty barrels. The fighters sat on logs around the hot fire and hungrily devoured roasted potatoes and drank water from large tin mugs. Hey, I got a fried potato, thank you. One older comrade sat cross-legged on the red oilcloth and laid out a piece of freshly fried fish on scraps of newspaper. I noticed Graverlov nearby. He was gesticulating with half-gnawed chicken bone, regaling the men around with the tale from his turbulent adolescence. The men laughed, clutching their sides. The hunters were buoyed up, cheerful even. Too cheerful, but they wouldn't see how small their chances of survivors were. They must have simply refused to entertain the possibility. Got some fried fish as well. I counted 11 fighters. Nowhere near enough, but still, it was virtually every adult man in Goronichi. 5 men were armed with assault rifles. The others had old sawn-off shotguns or double-barrel shotguns. And here's our friend, the one I told you about. The former investigator introduced me to the others. I shook their hands. He's come to us all the way from Tiver, so he's got some fighting experience. He promised to help with the wolves. Have you actually seen the wolves we got around here? Normal wolves have got nothing on these beasts, except the fighter next to Gavrilov. I've seen him before. I killed one in Moscow. 1-on-1, the hunter repeated. The others looked over at me with respect. Impressive. Around here we scavenge in groups of 12. At least that's just for the she-wolf. Yuri, don't stir things up, the guy next to him said. It's bad enough as it is. Who's in the squad? Where's the she-wolf hiding? When are you gonna tell me what you promised? Alright, so who's in the squad? I am. And Yuri's helping, Gravlov responded. When it comes to wolves, we have the most experience, I suppose. Before Kirill was in charge of all the operations. He was Navy Special Forces, Nikita's stepfather, the one who didn't come back from Kiev. You were there too, maybe you saw the body. He'd run out of cartridges, he couldn't retreat, so he went at the wolf with a knife. A knife! I recall the dead body. Any more questions? Where's she hiding? Old slaughterhouse? Yep. What's the plan? The plan is simple. Don't die. Let's consider the worst case scenario, also known as the most likely scenario. There's a whole pack of wolves around the slaughterhouse. We got Otter as smoke bombs, we'll take the beasts by surprise, we'll kill them all before they even know what hit them. We'll go into the building, find the she-wolf, and take her out fast. The worst case scenario is that he gets the jump on us. But if we're really stuck, we have plan B. There was a small suitcase in the ground between his feet, and he gave it a solid pat. Okay. Is that like a detonation bomb or what? If all goes bad, I'm just gonna blow myself up. Dude, you can't kill yourself. You have the information that I need. We finished our march about 300 meters from our destination. The winds hadn't changed. There had been no incidents on the road. Gavrilov sent the scouts up ahead. They came back with 15 minutes? That's impressive. They actually came back with time. I guess that means they probably came back in 15 minutes. After consulting Yuri about something, Gavrilov called me over. Listen carefully. There are 9 wolves near the slaughterhouse, 4 to the east, and they're sleeping. And 5 to the south, and they're up and alert. We'll take the brutes by surprise. We're splitting the squad into 2 groups. We'll attack simultaneously. The first group will throw smoke bombs at the 4 sleepers from behind and make Swiss cheese of them. The other group will go around the 5 wolves from downwind, take up their positions and open fire on the signal. And? Decide if you're going into the first group or the second group. The first group is the less like the rest risky choice. The wolves will be asleep. But you're needed more in the second group. You're an old hand at this, and our guys aren't even professional hunters. Yeah, I guess we should probably go for the second group, huh? You're a little paranoid, Pavel. I've always said it. But seriously, why the hell are we splitting up the squad? We can deal with the sleeping wolves in one go, and then go all up against a group of 5. It's not that complicated. Your clever strategizing isn't needed here. It's true, they are wolves. I mean, there's methods to both of them. I'm going with the first group, I'm going with the second group, or no use in splitting up the squad. I'll go with the second group. Alright. The operation began. Trying to move soundlessly, we approached the squad slaughterhouse building. Yuri and another 5 hunters ran behind the truck. Each man took a smoke bomb. The wolves were asleep, very close by, on the other side of the truck. After confirming that everything was going to plan, I, Gavrilov, Nikita, and another 4 hunters advanced south through the undergrowth. We cut a white bird to avoid luring the 5 wolves before we were ready. At last, we took up our positions, we aimed, and just as the sound of the first shot from the east reached us, we opened fire. Unfortunately, the firing distance proved too great for most of my comrades. I killed 1 wolf, but the others only had minor injuries and started running right at us. How could you miss? Gravrilov shouted, huffing and puffing. Even though they'd completed the training, the country folk hadn't turned into sharpshooters overnight. But things improved after that, the wolves running into a strung-out line, and they went down one after another under the heavy fire of the 3 assault rifles. I finished off 1, Gavrilov got the second, and the third was riding in agony. Yes, that's it. Excellent work, boys. The last wolf seemed to come out of nowhere. It sank its teeth into one of the guy's throat. A second later, it had knocked Nikita to the ground. Gavrilov ran to his aid and whacked the beast with the butt of his rifle. Then the wolf leapt off Nikita with a snarl and tore into Gavrilov's stomach. They both went down. We ran right up to the beast and shot it several times in the head. The wolf dropped dead. But we could see her gunfire coming from the east. Oh, God. They were asleep and you couldn't get it done? When we reached the truck, it was already over. The 4 wolves were dead. Okay, that's good. But Yuri and another hunter were the only survivors from the group. Yuri ran across the blood-stained ground in a frenzied fury. I told them. Don't leave them wounded. Finish them off. Finish them immediately. They did everything they could, Yuri, said one of the hunters. Don't blame them. They're not soldiers. Yuri just clenched his teeth. The battle was over, we had lost 5 men, and another, the 6th, was at death's door. Of course, it's the guy who has all the information we need. The former investigator raised his eyes to mine and tried to smile. Sorry, pal, but you have to get Zaitsev to tell you what you want to know, if you survive this hunt, of course. Of course. Nikita walked to us, Yuri was with him. One look at the injured man told him all we needed to. Pavel, damn, was all he could get out. It's over for me, Yuri. Worry about the other ones who are injured, and don't waste time. You have to finish the mission. Gavrilov strained himself to speak again, but the life was already leaving his body. Nikita, forgive me. Those were his last words. Forgive him? He saved me, Nikita said, breaking his grim silence. He saved me even though he knew the wolf would kill him. Why did he do that? He's worth more to the squad than I am. He must have really felt guilty about you. But maybe, I added, he wanted to fulfill his debt to your stepfather, who saved him in Kiev. I don't know. All I know is that he was a good man. May his soul rest in peace. We couldn't get inside the building via the main entrance. The part of the structure had collapsed. But the meat lodging gate was blocked off too. Even after we broke in the lock, the hinges just couldn't budge. There's another way in, one of the hunters spoke up. The slaughter corridor. That's where the livestock would go down before, well, you know. There was nothing else to do, so we went around the slaughterhouse from the other side and entered the dark, tampering tunnel one after another. I used to work here at the exit, a hunter whispered grimly. I never thought that one day we'd be walking towards the light. The hair on my arm stood up, and I don't think I was the only one. Despite the bad feeling in my gut, we made it through the slaughterhouse corridor with no problems. We emerged into a spacious room with a sticky soiled floor and dirty reddish-brown walls. Metal grill structures gleamed along the walls, and terrifying hooks tangled above them. Next to the platform we were standing on, slaughtering tools had been abandoned haphazardly, and farther on we saw an entire mound of bones, with a human skull among them. Keep going, we don't have much time. We were surrounded by gloom and silence. Some solitary shafts of light filtered through the few tiny windows. The slaughterhouse seemed to be completely deserted. But when we reached the room that held the vats for bleeding the slaughterhouse animals, Nikita stopped. Shh, did you hear that? It truly was pitch black beyond the archway. Our flashlights revealed sharpened hooks below the ceiling. Huge steel cabinets, pipes snaking across the floor. Oh God, we stopped on our tracks. The scene before us was the stuff of nightmares. Gnawed corpses lay along the walls. They were fresh. Rot hadn't even set in. Some only had the head intact, below the shin. The spinal column gleamed white in the gloom. That's Misha, Andrei. These were our guys. They were so close, and his words were drowned out by a terrible growl. I just had time to see the yellow, weeping blisters on the raged muzzle, and the wolf launched itself into the air. I jerked backwards. The behemoth snapped its teeth, and the heavy body hit my chest with such force that I was slammed into the wall. I slid down the wall to the ground, past the ring in my ears. I could hear somebody's blood-curdling scream, almost immediately cut off. The rat-a-tat-tat of gunfire. A terrifying muzzle the color of resin appeared in front of my face. Its hellish jaws began to open. Close by, the butcher let out the furious roar, which was followed by a burst of gunfire. The wolf's head jerked to the side and disappeared. Get up and raise your weapon. There was a buzzing in my skull. The scene before me blurred and bled like a watercolor, but I forced myself to my feet. A gun lay within reach. I had almost reached it when I heard a repulsive sound. A few paces from me, the filthy beast was ravenously tearing strips of flesh from the butcher's headless body, just like back in the meadow. No, this time would be different. This time I wouldn't run away. Sucking in air through my clenched teeth, I started moving towards the open fire, and opened fire on the beast. The black wolf died right on top of its last victim. Nikita, Yuri, Gergorov, and I were the only survivors out of the whole squad. Surely I'd taken the coward's way out, and not let the squad. Our losses would have been even worse, but still. Protecting their mother, the wolves fought to the last drop of blood, but the she-wolf wasn't in an evisceration room at all, alive or dead. It got away, it was all for nothing. Wait, look! I pointed to the archway leading to the cold storage. In the beam of my flashlight, we saw a small black wolf cub that quickly darted back into the darkness. It wouldn't leave the cubs, I said, trying to inject some confidence into the voice. Let's go kill it now. Okay, so, she-wolf time. 1000 HP, no defenses. Attack power isn't really too bad. Doesn't seem like that much of a scary fight, but we should take all the big guns here. So what I'm thinking we do is we gotta go assault rifle. We'll take the grenades for a fact, and maybe the sniper? Sniper for afar. Could be useful. Yeah, sure, let's go with that right there. Okay, so what do we got here? We have 1,000 HP. I also got apparently a boy here too. See if we can try to keep him alive. I could apparently shoot you here twice. We'll do with that. Rage times 1, what the hell does that mean? Oh, you missed, you ding dong? You can't be missing right now, dude. What does rage mean? What's rage? I mean, I know what rage is, but what does it do in combat? Does it make you stronger? It probably makes you stronger, doesn't it? I bet it does. Okay. I'll be honest, dude, I'm sorry to say, but I don't know you that well, so I ain't gonna risk my life for this. I'm gonna move back 1. And let's peg you with some grenades, hopefully. 69, rage 2. Giggity giggity, of course. Toss another one. Rage times 4. Yeah. Alright. He's up to rage times 4 now. He's down to 470, or she's down to 470. Ow. Why don't you go after him? Okay. I'm gonna be honest here. I'm sorry, boy. I'm sorry, boy, but I needed to move away from that thing. Don't you attack me. Attack this man. Do we bomb it again, or do we... Like, the thing is that I'm scared about missing because I got that concussion going on, which apparently drops my chance to hit by 25%. I think we take this... Oh! Oh, I didn't know it hurt you too. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, dude. I'm gonna stay here, though. Oh, no. This man's gonna probably die because of me. I'm so sorry, dude. I didn't know. I mean, I imagined it would do splash. I wasn't aware that was friendly fire. Okay, I could shoot you twice for me. I can't pew you anymore with that because it'll hurt this dude. Look, if you were to actually hit both of these attacks, you might kill this thing and this boy could survive. So don't miss. Don't miss. There's still a chance. Oh, my boy, I'm so sorry that you went down. He could have probably survived, maybe. Maybe! If not for that grenade. Here's what I'll tell you, though. I ain't taking a chance missing. I'm moving back. And I'm pegging you with grenades. It's dead, right? It's dead. Oh, God. Oh, boy, it died. The monster clung on to life till the very end. When the assault rifle was out of ammunition, Hero reached for the shotgun, but the she-wolf just whined, trying to bite us, refusing to die. Only when we had turned the enemy into a shapeless bloody mass did its legs give away. In this real-life nightmare, a monster rotted by radiation rasped its last breath. I left Yuri in the evisceration area and swept the beams of my flashlight across the cold storage. The whole litter of the wolf cubs, just short of a dozen, was cowered against the wall. I slaughtered them all. The deed was done. Oh, we got an SVD. A lot of experience too. Very good. The she-wolf is dead, but we had to pay a high price for her life. When I got into the slaughterhouse, I saw the bodies of Gavrilov and the others. The bodies needed to be buried. But there were so few of us, and the surviving wolves would appear at any minute. An hour later, we were already heading back to Gorenichi. A giant fire burned behind us, devouring the bodies of the brave warriors who had given their lives for their country and their friends. Back to the base? Yeah, back to the base. That was a tough one. Oh, man. I still got this concussion. We'll be healed in 14 days. It doesn't seem like we have anything that could treat this injury as well. So with this done, I guess we gotta get all the info now from Zaitsev. And hopefully he doesn't send me on a freaking quest himself. Oh, Gavrilov died, huh? Yeah, well, turns out I don't know anything. He knew everything. He lied to you. The people who live in Gorenichi hunt. Oh yeah, we already read that. So let's go off to Lilia? No, who the hell is this? Hello. I heard you were a traveler and I thought, well, could you help me? Oh, you're another quest, huh? Sure. 3 years ago, I escaped from our town with my parents. We were looking for a safe place. We were already close to Tiumen when we were attacked by bandits. I was wounded and then fainted. I came to here, in the base. They saved me, the people of Tiumen. But they didn't find my parents. Now I live with Lida. She's very kind to me, but I still miss my mom and dad. In our old house in Selenograd, there is a photo album with our family photos. Help me find this album. With it, I could search for my parents and other bases. Even if I fail, I could see their faces at least. I would have some memories. Sure. Thank you very much. I'll be waiting for you. This better be a worth it quest, not like that freaking poison thing, man. Alright, so let's go to the community center now. And there he is. The former director of the Institute of Virology dozed in the same armchair as last time. I woke him up and sat down in the chair next to him. Zaitsev looked at me groggily. Then I held out the she-wolf's fang to him. What's this? That was our agreement. I held up my end, and the she-wolf is dead. Now it's your turn. Zaitsev turned the fang by his hands and looked at me. Where's Pavel? The wolf's got Gavrilov. I'm listening. Alright, that's your wish. Remind me. What did you want to know? Tell me about Nesterov and the other scientists who worked with him, and all the rest of it. The director nodded, removed his glasses, and began wiping them methodically. With a rag, he cleaned them for several long minutes. Go ahead, don't be shy. What do you want me to say? Georgy Nesterov was a nationally renowned scientist, the pride of our institute. We worked successfully with him, Kulik and the Slashkov for many years. Karbyshev transferred to us from Leningrad. Beletsky, the youngest of the team, joined later at the end of '83. What were they working on? I could explain, but you still won't understand. Try to make me understand. Molecular genetics. They were studying the proteins and genes of the most widespread viruses. An utterly harmless endeavor, as long as you don't cross the line, of course. Nesterov crossed it. He began experimenting with mutations. He got Kulik and Karbyshev involved in it. They hid their work from the others. I had a suspicion that they weren't spending their evenings in the lab just to drink tea, but I chose not to stick my nose in. But then I had to. What happened? Beletsky found Nesterov's hidden catch. He dragged it out and brought me Nesterov's notebook and the voice recording. At first I couldn't even believe it, but it was his handwriting and his voice. Nesterov and his pals were developing a new plague. No, not a plague. This virus, R17, was far more dangerous than Yersinia pestis, and what's more, it was custom made to order for the CIA. Nesterov had created a new biological weapon for our enemy. So what did you do? I didn't have a choice. We reported them to the authorities, all three of them. Beletsky and Shashkov signed a statement too. The case moved quickly. Nesterov, Kulik, and Karbyshev were arrested. Then we were visited often by men from the KGB. They questioned us and searched the whole institute. They took everything they could out of Nesterov's lab, even the sign on the door. They destroyed all the biomaterial. The hearing was held behind closed doors, but I was allowed to stay as a witness. It happened quickly. The evidence was overwhelming, and Karbyshev made a full confession. Article 64, Betrayal of the Motherland. They were taken straight from the courtroom to face the firing squad. But the virus was still used. Alas, yes, it seems that Nesterov had already managed to hand over the contaminated culture to the CIA. On August 17, 1984, enemy agents dispersed R17 into the air in various cities using special spray cans. That was DR. Yes, that's how the pandemic started, wiping out most of the population of the USSR. Now, are you satisfied? No, there's something else. How did the nuclear war start? The director looks at me in confusion and nods again. Alright, but it's all very straightforward. Clearly the American intelligence agencies overestimated the effectiveness of their little killer, R17. Or perhaps they underestimated it. They thought it would leave the people of the great nation of Soviets near extinction, out of their wits and weakened by disease. And they would kill off any survivors themselves. Correct. And after spilling a little blood, they would have access to the endless rich lands of our motherland. But R17 betrayed them. The epidemic spread too slowly. Its incubation period was too long, and too many people were immune. And already by October, tens and hundreds of thousands of people were thronging towards the USSR's borders. To flee the dying country? Of course. And almost every one of them was infected. Our neighbors closed their borders, they introduced martial law, assembled their troops, and shot refugees dead in their thousands. But there were too many of them. There were. For every person they killed, 2 more arrived, and the border is vast, so people with enough cunning and desperation would find a way through. And when the first outbreaks of the epidemic happened in China, Mongolia, Turkey, Poland, and Finland, it was decided that extreme measures must be taken. A secret session in a nuclear club was held at the end of October, and the nation to cleanse the infected territory was passed. Motion to cleanse. They used all the firepower they had. Even villagers were subjected to this infection by bomb. But they miscalculated again. USSR fought back? Yes, we launched our entire arsenal, immediately on all targets. Even though it was doomed, the country didn't want to die. The wave of infected refugees capitalized on the chaos and overwhelmed the Allies' armies. And that's how R-17 successfully spread to the rest of the world. And there was nothing anyone could do. No, but it was every nation for itself at that point. The USA started bombing Europe, India attacked China, deep-rooted conflicts flared up. It was all as if the whole world had gone mad. The only place spared was Antarctica. But as always, mankind managed to make things even worse. Does that mean that there's nothing left of the other continents either? Is the whole world a wasteland? To be honest, I don't know. Excuse me, young man. But if we've talked too long, it's time for me to take my pills. What does that mean? Do I go somewhere else or what? I mean, we're just done. You can't just cut me off this way. You give me a bunch of good information here, dude. Leave and do what? There's nothing holding me in Kiev anymore. Time to go back to Tiver and face Sevlana. Well, boys, there you guys have it. I'm going to wrap it up here for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. The she-wolf is down. Tough fight, but not too bad. I'm not sure if I would have gotten rewarded had I kept that dude alive, but he did not survive the fight. So at this point, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to go back and get us back to Sevlana for the next episode. Let me know if I should consider making the Vass or maybe just wait till the gas. Whichever one works. I will catch you next time.